Yo, what's up? This is Song of the Week. I'm Katie.
I'm Lucas.
And we both picked songs by great Stevies this week.
Two very magnificent Stevies in the lineup for Song of the Week this week. Do you want to start?
Sure, I will start. Yeah, so I picked Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. That was my Song of the Week. And Lucas actually sent me his song first.
It's true.
And
I sent Seems So Long by Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, so we both coincidentally sent each other songs by Stevie's, which was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, Landslide. I love that song. I don't even know why. I was just like listening to it this week, and I was like, I'm bored. Like, I'm gonna pick up my guitar and learn how to play it, and I did, and it was not that hard.
Yep.
But I've known that song for like years and years and years, and it's like kind of deep, low key.
It's a classic guitar player song in the regard of like, that is in the first 10 songs that you learn how to play.
Yeah.
And it's a great song. I have to be honest and say that like, it always makes me think of my childhood.
Oh, me
and
too.
like, not in a bad way or a good way. It's kind of just like a
neutral
weird
way.
thing.
Yeah.
And so when I heard it, I was like, when I saw that you sent me that one, I was like, okay, it's a good song, but it was nice to listen to the song again outside of that context of like my dad playing it.
Yeah. Well, I did do a little research, and I think one of the theories that like Stevie Nicks has about the song is that it's supposed to be about the relationship between a father and a child, which I thought was really interesting. And I also, fun fact, in my research, I was watching their live 1997 concert that they did, which is like, I could watch the whole thing. It's like 2 hours long. But she says at the beginning of Landslide, she says, "This is for you, Daddy." And she says that in a couple of the recordings. And when I was back in my day, whenever I would sing Landslide, like people would always tell me, you gotta intro it and say, "This is for you, Daddy," but like in a weird way. But I was like, that's so loving. Why are we making it weird?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. You want to talk about your song?
Yeah, sure. So I chose Seems So Long by Stevie Wonder, which is one of the great underrated Stevie tunes among like all 257 of them that are underrated. And it's just like similar, but also very different in the regard like it's an oldie, a classic, and it's a very slow song. I feel like a lot of like
a good slow.
Yeah, for sure. It kind of has like it feels like a train that's like running at 1/3 speed.
Ooh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Just like in general, I've never heard it before. I know like a little Stevie, but well, you're like a big fan, right?
Yeah. Everybody. I guarantee you, your life will be better if you pay more attention to Stevie Wonder.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a guarantee.
Strong message.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I really liked it. I like could not stop listening to it. I'd just be walking about my day and I'd be like, wait, I gotta turn this on.
Yeah, to me it reminds me a lot of like there's so much evidence that like Stevie Wonder is like a massive influence of like Frank Ocean.
Oh,
and I think in that song,
I've never heard that.
You can hear a lot of the Frank Ocean because it's like very mellow, like slow backing music with like really strong like evocative vocals.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's such a great precursor to like a lot of the music that's really cool right now, or I guess not even right now, but like a couple of years ago in like R&B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I did really like it. I thought the lyrics were really interesting too.
Yes.
Like he uses the word lady like kind of loosely, like lady what is it, like lady come, lady cared.
Yeah.
Lady left me all alone, like kind of deep and hard hitting, but I really liked the like organy sound.
It's also like in that album in particular, and a lot of his stuff, like so much of it is like seasons based almost.
Okay.
And I feel like that's why it's such a great song for right now, is like we are fully coming into winter. And so yeah, like that song to me feels like a going into winter song.
Yeah.
But I could talk about Stevie Wonder all day, every day. But
we won't.
We're gonna switch it over to the most anticipated debate of the century.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 2024 Jayhawk Jukebox debate. Here we have Jolie Brown, Hayden Spratland to my right. Oh, look at that.
How we doing?
That was pretty sweet. Today, we are going to be talking about the very, very, very debated question of should Christmas music be played year-round or just post-Thanksgiving? So before we start, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to get to know our candidates here. First, we're going to start with Jolie Brown, who is taking the position of what, and she's going to tell you a little about herself. Go ahead, Jolie.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Jolie Brown. A lot of you may not know me because I'm usually behind the camera, but today I feel so passionately about this topic that I'm here to debate Mr. Spratlin. I'm a Christmas enthusiast. My qualifications are this blanket, the fact that I got a Christmas Starbucks drink the day they came out today, and that my room is already decorated. This will be my 20th year listening to Christmas music before Thanksgiving, meaning I'm a seasoned professional. And my qualifications for standing in front of you today is that I'm happy. And that's all because of Christmas music and nothing else.
Wow. Really taking me back to middle school with that speech right there. Thank you for that, Jolie. Now moving on to Hayden, can you tell us a little bit about yourself the same way that Jolie just did?
I sure can, Jack. And I'm here, let's take it down to brass tacks, people. Christmas music is great, but it has a time, okay? I'm the guy to talk about this because I'm somewhat agnostic. I think something's up there. I don't know what it is, but folks, let's be real, okay? We don't need to be pressing this religious thing upon everybody. I'm a believer in sonic freedom. I don't think we should have people just playing whatever they want on the airwaves. That's going to try and dwindle the rest of the music, okay? We need people listening to what they want to listen to. We need them to have complete freedom of their airwaves. I mean, we have a Telecommunications Act from 1996 that was signed to make sure that people could listen to whatever they want. We don't need a holiday taking advantage of everything else, not letting anybody listen to anything but its own little, propaganda, if you will. I also have a minor, almost have a minor in political science with a concentration in constitutional rights and statutes. People, this was a country founded on freedom. I want freedom in the airways. I don't want it to be taken up by Mariah Carey 24/7, 365, okay? And then also I studied abroad, so I'd say that I have a better cultural knowledge than Jolie does, even though she's somewhat happier than I am. I don't know if that's really true. Let's be real here, folks.
Wow, what a speech. Happiness is truly subjective. So the way that this is going to work today is I'm going to be proposing a question to the floor. Each of them are going to have 30 or 60 seconds to answer, depending on the question. Then they will have a 15-second rebuttal. Let's get right into it. The first question. We're going to start with the question everyone is here for. Why should Christmas music be played year-round or not? We're going to start here with Hayden. Never mind. We're going to start with Jolie. Jolie, could you give me your answer, please?
Threw me for a loop. Okay, so I believe that Christmas music should not be restricted to the time period between Thanksgiving and Christmas. According to Spotify, in 2023, nearly 90% of listeners engaged with Christmas music in the weeks leading up to Thanksgiving, with this number growing larger every single year. Spotify reported a 25% increase in early holiday music streams in 2023 compared to previous years, meaning that this wave of early Christmas listening is taking over the world year by year. The people and the stats have spoken, and they and I believe that Christmas music should be played before Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Jolie Brown. What a speech. Now moving on to Hayden Spratlin. 30 seconds.
Now, I'm going to level with you, people of America. I don't understand all this data that she's throwing around. I don't know if it's really any true. I don't know if she's just pulling that out of what, okay? But here's the thing. Christmas music has a time and it has a place. It happens after Thanksgiving. We should not be putting other holidays in front of other holidays. I mean, why are we putting one holiday on a pedestal, keeping its big music? That's what it is. It's big Christmas music. That wants you to think this, okay? I don't want to hear jingle bells on a hot 96-degree summer day in Kansas after I've been at work all day. I don't want to come home at 6 p.m. to my roommate listening to All I Want for Christmas Is You. If that happens, I see red. And frankly, I think most people should too. I only see red and I don't see green. You know why? Because Christmas music before Thanksgiving only makes people angry.
All right, thank you, Mr. Spratlin. We are going to be adjusting the rules just for that one time. He got 45 seconds, and because of that, Jolie Brown, would you like to rebuttal?
I would. I would just
game.
like to propose this question in the air. Could you please name a Thanksgiving song for me that I would be able to listen to between Halloween and Christmas, please?
Mr. Spratlin?
Pretty sure there's a Charlie Brown special that has multiple Thanksgiving songs. So, I mean, if you want to live in your own Mickey Mouse world, that's fine. But I'm rather going to be in reality.
And could you name those for me, please?
I don't think I need to. I think you can do your own research as shown by your fake numbers. So.
Wow. Actually, we have a live fact check on the studio here. In my ear, Mr. Spratlin brought out Mickey Mouse and Charlie Brown. They are not in the same special. I'm sorry to lead you down a wrong path. Moving on to the next question. Does starting Christmas music early create a positive, festive mood, or does it contribute to holiday fatigue? Starting with Mr. Spratlin, never mind. Yes, we are. 1 minute each. Go ahead.
So I actually do have some data here that backs us up, as the producer knows. So in our polling, we found that 80% of Americans, which translates to roughly 4 in 5 Americans, also the number that we polled, they thought that Christmas music played before Thanksgiving contributed to an increase in holiday fatigue. Now, this holiday fatigue, we asked them to rate it on a scale of 0 to 10. Okay, so the folks that listened to Christmas music year-round had a 400% increase in holiday fatigue when compared to the folks that started after November 29th, which is this year's Thanksgiving. This data it speaks volumes, guys. There's really nothing else that you can there's no other conclusion you can come from other than knowing that if you listen to Christmas music year-round, you are going to hate the holidays, and you're really living a sociopathic lie trying to tell other people that they should be doing it as well.
Wow. That was really powerful, really wonderful graphics here. Moving on to Jolie Brown, 1 minute.
Okay, so although I'm sure everyone knows that you do feel happier and more positive when listening to Christmas music, I would like to tell you the reasonings behind that and the mental benefits. So Christmas music is linked to the brain's limbic system, which handles emotion and memories. Studies in 2023 show that listening to Christmas music helps to boost mood by evoking positive memories and offering a significant emotional uplift. Clinical neuropsychologists report that holiday music can reduce stress by activating the brain's reward systems. Research shows that 68% of listeners feel more relaxed during the holiday season when listening to Christmas music. And finally, exposure to nostalgic Christmas songs can increase dopamine release by up to 10%, boosting happiness and reducing stress, as confirmed in 2023 by research from Psychology Today. So that warm and cozy and happy feeling that we get is backed up by science.
Wow, thank you, Jolie Brown. That was very powerful. But I do want to say we got another fact check from the studio here. She said limbic system. The game is called Limbo. So sorry for that confusion. We'll be moving on to the rebuttals. Hayden Spratlin.
Okay, limbic system. Are you just making stuff up? I mean, those pictures, the people didn't have thumbs. Were those AI generated? What's up with that? Or are you trying to mislead the American people right now? This is crazy.
That's crazy because it was actually Mr. Hayden Spratlin that sent in those graphics.
Based on
so
who?
I think this is some kind of setting up thing that's going on. It might be blackmail, I think might be the word. Let me know if I'm reaching for something here, but I think that might have been a setup.
Wow, well, we will definitely ask the producers in the studio to see if that is a setup, but we are going to be moving on to the next question here. Our next question is, once we reach the future agreed upon time that we can start listening, what is one staple that cannot be skipped? However, there is a caveat for this question. Their answer cannot be All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. Starting again with Mr. Spratlin, 30 seconds.
So I picked This Christmas by Chris Brown from the notable movie also named This Christmas. Originally a Donny Hathaway cover, I believe. It's an absolute banger. And I mean, really for our generation, like we grew up listening to Chris Brown, Rihanna, Jason Derulo, artists like that. So it's something we can relate to. I think I'm gonna end on that one, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna end right there.
Great, that's probably a very smart bet for that one. Moving on to Jolie Brown, 30 seconds is yours.
Listen, I don't need to explain my song. Last Christmas by Wham is a year-round song, and I will stand by that for the rest of my life. I know that you like this song. I know you do. Don't lie, I see you smiling. I know you like this song. So I'm just gonna leave it there.
All right. I just want to weigh in here. I know I'm the moderator, and I technically am not a part of this debate, but I'm personally upset that no Bruce Springsteen or Jackson 5 was mentioned. So we are going to move on to the rebuttal so we can get more harsh and I can get my anger out. Mr. Spratlin?
I don't know why the rebuttal's on me if you seem to want to get your
Great,
anger
well,
out.
I'll get in here. Never mind. It's your time.
So here's the funny thing. She actually took that from something we talked about prior to this debate, and I thought Last Christmas was off the chart. I mean, I thought it was off the table. I thought it was off the record. She heard me talking about it. She heard me talking about my roommate's love for Wham and George Michael. So I think she's really trying to, once again, mislead the American people using insider data to do her own trading, following her own prerogative. It's a big thing that they're trying to do, folks. I just don't know why she's putting on this mask on national TV. What's up with that?
George Michael, that man has 2 first names, so we are going to be moving on to Miss Brown's rebuttal.
Listen, I don't understand how you can look at me and Brooke in the eyes and tell us that I just took that information from another time, because that is my personal favorite song. I'd put that in my top 5 all time, and I do not recall that conversation, probably because most of our conversations happen at our 10 a.m. class, and I'm not awake during that time. So I would not remember any of that information you gave me. But I do apologize if I use that information illegally, but you cannot put that on me and Brooke. However, I think it still stands. And that's all.
Wow, truly magnificent. However, I cannot see how it stands, as it is a sentence and it's just a word. So, wait, that doesn't make sense grammatically. Never mind. We're moving on to our next question. Is there a compromise, such as introducing some holiday music before Thanksgiving, as in a taste, but saving the full playlist until after? We are going to start with Jolie Brown here. 30 seconds is yours.
Listen, I think everyone likes the songs they like. I think it's a lot easier for people to listen to like the more poppy Christmas music before, and then the more like Frank Sinatra-y, like classic music in December. I can understand that from an unbiased point of view. I'm not going to name certain songs that we should listen to at certain times, but as a compromise, I think the perfect time would be the weekend after Halloween to start listening to Christmas music.
Wow, Jolie Brown, that tends to be the first few days of November. Moving on to Hayden Spratland, 30 seconds is yours.
So I understand the want and the actual need for bipartisanship here. However, the pre-Turkey Day crowd doesn't really care about that, all right? They want to blow all this cooperative work that we've been trying to do for years away, clearing the airwaves and floor for their precious jingle bells. Folks, this is frankly a slap in the face to everybody who wants to break. I mean, if you're already seeing decorations in Target and Walmart or whatever big box store you go to before Halloween, I think that's an issue. You're forcing people to listen to things so early in the year they don't even really get to celebrate Halloween, Earth Day, Independence Day. I mean, I could go on and on about things that are missed. Ultimately, Christmas before Thanksgiving is an oppressive movement from an oppressive establishment that wants to force their sonic beliefs on folks who are doing their best to just try and live in the moment in a time where living in the moment is so difficult.
Wow, that really does look like the United States of America. Final rebuttal. My candidates, I want you to please think about this final answer, as it will be the last words you give to the American people. We are going to start with Jolie Brown. Do you have a rebuttal?
To the American people,
Yes.
I want you to just think about how Christmas music makes you feel. And don't you want that warm? Do you see how I'm warm and cozy right now?
She said
with
she
my
was sweating
ring?
5 minutes ago.
I'm what?
You said you were sweating 5 minutes ago.
Please,
That's-
Mr. Spratland, this is her
That's warm
time.
and cozy. I don't know. That's very warm.
Okay.
Hot, one might say. But just think about how like Christmas music makes you feel. And why would you only want that to last a few weeks, 25 days at that, when it could last you so much longer?
Wow. I don't know how you fit weeks into 25 days, as weeks are 7 days and 25 is not divisible by 7. Final rebuttal from Hayden Spratland. Please give us your wisdom.
I think the choice is obvious here. You know, if you want free airwaves as shown by the Telecommunications Act of 1996, where without discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, national origin, or sex, the FCC is beholden to the foundational document of this country, the Constitution, and that includes this establishment clause. That means everybody can do whatever they want at any time as long as they are not discriminating based on those prior things. And that's what America's founded on. Okay, so if you want true audio freedom, if you want to be able to go on Spotify and still listen to, I don't know, your favorite Tyler the Creator record in June, I think we know where the answer lies here. Okay, thank you.
You just proved my winning.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, everybody, I'm completely frustrated by this debate because I do not celebrate Christmas and I feel left out. So I'm going to be ending this debate here and leaving it up to you, the American people watching this live debate here. Please leave in the comments who you believe has won this debate. I'm getting out of here. It's hot.
We are going to be switching to a dollar bin showcase from Chad Cushing right now. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, this is Chad, and I decided to spend my Wednesday afternoon hanging out at one of the coolest places in Lawrence, Kansas. It's gotta be Love Garden Sounds on Mass Street. and I had myself a little date with the dollar disc section. Now, this isn't my first date with the dollar disc. We're quite familiar. This is the first thing I do whenever I come into Love Garden, is I take a left turn, set my stuff down, and just kind of get my bearings. I'm looking through all the CDs here, trying to see whatever catches my eye. I'm always good to find a great, like, greatest hits compilation or a legendary artist like Frank Sinatra or George Jones in here. But for today's segment, I wanted to do my best to find 2 CDs that I never heard and review them for you guys. So let's look at some of these ones I considered. Ted Nugent is always a good one. That one I considered Saturday Night Fever. This is one we're gonna get back to in a little bit. A little George and Tammy moment. Look at that photo on the front. They even had some comedy in here. Some Jeff Foxworthy, the OJs. These guys were styling. Look at this picture on the back cover. Look at these guys. I would pick them back out at the end too. And then this one, I didn't plan this, I promise. This is not staged. Look at that. The only opera CD you'll ever need. So I ended up picking up the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack and the OJ's album, and I got to listening. It's never a bad time over there at Love Garden, and I've even got my hometown record store, Boo Boo Records, back in San Luis Obispo, California. I'm repping their t-shirt as I kind of give you guys my analysis of what I thought of the albums. I was so glad that I found a copy of Saturday Night Fever in the $1 bin, because I know that I'm going to use it for this video as well, but I'm also going to use it for my DJ sets because I love a ton of the songs that are on this album. So this one basically has every single song that's featured in the movie. There's a mix of some classic, like, very disco sounding tunes, obviously on par for the movie and its themes, and then also some of the, like, instrumental soundtracks that they use at parts in the movie. Staying Alive as the opening track, I mean, it's iconic. I could put the clip of John Travolta walking down the street right now, or maybe the one from Madagascar. I'd say that's probably a little bit more of an iconic moment. And Night Fever is my personal favorite Bee Gees song, so when I heard that one in the car as I was listening to the CD, I played it once, and then I rewound it back and I played it again, because it's that good of a song. A fun song on there that I really didn't have any expectations for, I hadn't heard it before, was A Fifth of Beethoven by Walter Murphy. I mean, it was a super fun, like, funk take on the classic Beethoven song. I mean, it starts with the da-da-da-da. I'll play it now. And then it just makes, like, a real funky song out of it. I thought it was really cool. I thought Manhattan Skyline used the organ in a really cool way, and it had just a really epic sounding horns arrangement. And then a couple of the last songs to wrap it up, we had Boogie Shoes and Disco Inferno at the end. I mean, those are really classic songs that everybody knows. It kind of represents that decade and what that sound of music was really all about. So overall, I had heard most of the songs on this album before, but I never really listened to it front to back, and now I'm really excited to go watch Saturday Night Fever. And then the second CD that I ended up picking was Emotionally Yours by the OJs. I'm familiar with the OJs before from their song Love Train. I know that everybody's probably heard that song before. And this album came out in 1990. I think it was their third to last album that they recorded. And I mean, it very much sounds like a 60s and 70s soul group was trying to make music that made sense at the end of the 1980s and early 1990s. I had 2 favorites on this one that really stood out. The first one was Keep Lovin' On Me. It had a really, like, super sensual and epic feeling to it in comparison to the rest of the album, where it felt like a lot of the songs kind of just meshed into each other and kind of felt like their own, like, long-winded thing, whereas this song really stood out to me when I listened. And then the second one was Lies. It had, like, a really super bouncy key sound during the chorus, and it was really easy to kind of sing along to after you got the hang of it after a while. So overall on the OJ's album, I mean, I can't say it's my favorite group of songs that they've ever put out, but it was still really cool to kind of listen to an album that marked the end of a career for a really awesome band. Any day spent at Love Garden is a good day, and I had an awesome time kind of sifting through the dollar bin and picking out my favorites, listening to the music playing on in the store. It's just good vibes in there, and I am lucky that I walked out with 2 CDs and not 20. So thank you guys for watching.
What's up, gamers? It's Virginia.
And I'm Peyton. And chat, we're getting to the point in the semester where we were having a little bit of a hard time trying to come up with a segment idea. So we turned to places where we thought that people might not necessarily think about, like, people getting music from those places. And one of that was was video games. So we reached out to my brother, who is an avid video game player, a gamer, if you will.
If you will.
And because we're not necessarily gamers, and that's a cute little pic of him. And we reached out to him and we were like, hey, so what kind of songs do you listen to from the games that you play? Because he doesn't necessarily play the traditional, you know, GTA, Rocket League, etc.
And yeah, so we went ahead and listened to the songs that he sent us. And I do want to make sure that everyone knows this is not a commentary on the types of games that my brother plays or the types of music that he listens to. He was just the giver of the songs.
Yeah, but we're gonna go right in. So first video game is called Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
And this game is a little bit of a weird one. So the main character is some kind of cyborg that has some kind of sword that kills bad guys. But I can tell you what, I know they're crazy and I don't want to get into it right now, but it's a little bit crazy.
It is a little crazy. But we've got 4 songs from this video game. And the first one is called It Has to Be This Way. And when I first listened to this, I thought I liked the beginning. Like, I think it sets the scene very well, gets right into like punk rock and like makes me feel like I gotta like save the world a little bit. But I'm just not a huge like heavy metal fan, which is basically what this whole video game music genre is. So like I gave this a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, and I also felt the same way. So crazy metal opening. Some kind of video game where you are the hero going through some kind of adventure to defeat the bad guy is how I would describe it. But I also gave it a 5 out of 10. It's a nice scene setter, mood setting song, but I didn't think that I would regularly listen to it or have it on my playlist anywhere.
No.
So.
All right, next one is called A Stranger I Remain. And this is I thought it was super punk rock again, very electric, had good vocals, so I gave this one a 6 out of 10 this time.
Yeah, I really liked the chorus of this song, and I thought I might have been kind of into it, especially when I was listening to it. Definitely very punk rock, and I did write in my notes that Alexandria would like this song. I gave it a 7 out of 10 because I could see myself listening to this song on like the highway driving really fast or walking to class so fast that it hurts my calves.
Obviously. That's what I do when I have to do heavy metal. Or when I listen to heavy metal, that's when I do it, obviously. And then, okay, next one's called The Only Thing I Know For Real. And this, once again, super heavy rock. Not a lot of vocals in this one. Like, there's a crazy guitar riff, like, in the middle. And then, like, I said I liked the, like, whistle note at the end, but I gave this one a 5 out of 10 again.
It did have some weird, like, high-pitched note at the end, but I didn't love this song. There were hella drums, but the guitar did go pretty crazy. Like, I do have to admit. I gave it a 6 out of 10, so 1 more point than Virginia, but I don't know. These songs are kind of like all similar to each other, if you would.
Yeah. All right, last one from this video game is called A Soul Can't Be Cut. And this, I said this was like, again, super heavy punk rock, like more vocals than the last songs, and like a lot of heavy metal scream singing. So I gave this one a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, so I didn't rank it very high either, but I did write in my notes, I'm low-key scared of this song, but it's not that bad. I prefer more like vocal, especially when I'm listening to like a punk rock, something that could be like pretty heavy. I like more chorus and singing, so I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we have a lot of more songs that we're probably going to discuss next time, but for now, that's all we've got time for. But we'll see you gamers soon, and have a great rest of your week. Bye.
Bye, chat.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Jukebox News Flash, where we will be recounting the top music news stories from the past week. I'm Parker.
And I'm Amanda. Rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine was charged last week with breaking the terms of his probation. The probation is the result of a 2018 plea deal struck with prosecutors over his gang involvement. Alongside an extended supervised release, 6ix9ine will serve 1 month in prison, 1 month under house arrest, 1 month under less restrictive house arrest, and a month of curfew.
Rapper RM from the K-pop group BTS will be releasing a documentary on December 5th. RM, Right People, Wrong Place, will capture his journey as he works on his second solo album, Right Place, Wrong Person. The documentary made its debut at the Busan International Film Festival and will be available in 90 countries and regions globally.
Deliver Me From Nowhere, a movie based on a book of the same name, will recount what it was like making Bruce Springsteen's 1982 album, Nebraska. The film stars Jeremy Allen White, who will play Springsteen, and is directed by Scott Cooper. The movie is currently in production but is slated to release in 2025.
On Wednesday, November 6th, Ariana Grande appeared on the Las Culturistas podcast with Wicked co-star Bowen Yang. On the podcast, Grande revealed she aims to shift her focus from pop music to musical theater. Quote, "I'm always going to make music. I'm always going to go on stage. I'm always going to do pop stuff," Grande said. She promised but admitted that pop music is not where she sees the next decade going.
Rapper Young Thug was released from jail on Halloween after a plea deal resulted in a 15-year probation term. The probation-mandated community service specifies that Thug gives anti-gang and anti-gun violence presentations 4 times a year. Outside of these presentations, Thug is fulfilling his community service through speaking to students at Emory University's law school.
The rapper appeared over FaceTime where he spoke to students about the importance of their future careers. Quote, "You gotta always look at it like they're there to put us in prison, and you guys are here to keep us from prison," Thug said, before praising his lawyer, Brian Steele, and stressing the importance of the profession. Quote, "I think it's important to help people out at the situations they're in the best. You can, what side do you want to be on? You want to put people in prison for mistakes? Because everyone makes mistakes. They're human."
In a recent interview, Art Garfunkel revealed that he has rekindled his friendship with Paul Simon. The two had a reunion dinner that involved lots of tears and addressed the issues between them. Quote, "We talked about how the years have hurt him. I must have hurt his feelings," Garfunkel admitted. He stated that he does not know where this will lead, but his soul is satisfied. He ended his recounting with a piece of advice. Quote, "You cannot go through life without resolving old friends. Life is love. We all love each other secretly, and we must get to it before it's too late."
On to the rundown of music releases this weekend. Jamie Johnson's Midnight Gasoline, Primal Scream's Come Ahead, State Champs, and The Body's The Crying Out of Things.
And that's all for Jayhawk Jukebox this week. We will see you again next week. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify at JayhawkJukebox. And catch these clips on our YouTube channel, also called Jayhawk Jukebox.